As we approach the midway point of the year, it's a good time to fine tune the outlook for the automotive industry because, sometimes shit happens. Very interesting details came from AlixPartner, a global business advisory and consulting firm delivering insights to many industries, including automotive. In this video, I'll provide a peek at their annual global automotive outlook, mix in some other forecasts, and talk about what they're calling the new ice age, which sounds great to some, but to others it could lead to a mass extinction. In China, new vehicle sales were down by as much as 17% earlier this year, but in recent months, they've recovered somewhat. AlixPartner forecasts China new vehicle sales to end the year only 10% down from last year. Other forecasts predict a smaller drop than that. I try to be clear when presenting data about EVs, differentiating between battery EVs and plug-in hybrids. BEVs by themselves have grown to about 42% market share in the latest data. PHEVs and EREVs add about 21% market share on top of that. Combined, new energy vehicles continue to take over the China market, even with the overall market being down. Making money in China has become extremely difficult, regardless of the propulsion type. A brutal price war has stripped out profit margins for the domestic manufacturers as well as Western automakers. With a tough domestic market, China automakers are pivoting outwards, with exports projected to reach nearly 10 million vehicles shipped out this year, up from 7.1 million last year. And many of them are going to Europe, where BEV sales reached 22% market share year to date. Adding in PHEVs to that brings the total up to 32% market share. Sales were charged by concern over gas prices and helped by increased access to more vehicles from China. Overall, the Europe market is up 4.5% through May, surprising, with Chinese brand vehicles capturing a little more than 10% market share overall. Not surprising. Most of them are plug-in hybrids and BEVs. Not all though, some are hybrids or just regular gas vehicles too. Then we get to America, where the new vehicle sales forecast, all powertrain types, is projected to decrease about 2.5% this year. That's not an outliner. Most forecasts earlier this year put the US new vehicle sales at about the 16 million mark or a little bit less. AlixPartners now puts their forecast at 15.8 million units due to high interest rates and vehicle prices that have put new vehicles out of the reach of many less affluent buyers. A spring sales surge fueled by tax credits seemed to have run out of gas. And speaking of gas, it likely had some effect on the minds of consumers. At the start of the year, economists predicted 1 to 2 interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve. Following the war with Iran, about 2 interest rate hikes are expected later this year, meaning that car loans will not be any cheaper this year. The most affordable vehicles are assembled in Mexico and South Korea, both of which now have big tariffs. Last month, the average price for a new vehicle in the US went back over 49 grand. As for battery EVs, market share in the US has been hovering at about 6% to start the year. That's down from the roughly 8% market share for all of last year, as people pulled ahead their purchase decisions to take advantage of the expiring tax credits. And then once those tax credits were gone, they tanked immediately afterwards. AlixPartners did not publicly release their 2030 forecast for BEVs, but they do forecast that by 2030, half of new vehicles will be electrified. So if you add together hybrids, plug-in hybrids, EREVs, and battery EVs combined. Other data points fall in a range on the low side from Boston Consulting Group, saying that about 15% of the market will be BEVs by 2030, and Bloomberg NEF is sticking with their prediction of 27% by 2030. But all these forecasts are way down from the original forecast years ago, which predicted that half of the market would be BEVs by 2030. Before I explain the new ice age, I wanted to start off with a similar situation in Japan. Last year, the country's BEVs accounted for less than 2% of vehicle sales. And if you add in PHEVs, that number only gets to about 3% market share. They, like the US, have some unique conditions. EV charging sucks in Japan. Most DC chargers are only 50 kilowatts using an older CHAdeMO standard. Tesla saw this and said, screw it, we'll just make our own network using the Tesla connector, what we now call NACS. And when you do plug them into the electrical grid in Japan, it relies heavily on fossil fuels. After the tragic Fukushima Daiichi disaster, they backed away from nuclear and have been slowly bringing renewables online. No wonder Toyota and Honda have been so reluctant to make BEVs. When they look out the windows from their headquarters in their home market, they barely see any. And thus we get to the parallel situation in the US. The market conditions here have created a glorious new age for ICE powertrains. Internal combustion engines no longer have to worry about fuel economy standards and penalties for not meeting them. It no longer pays to load up on CAFE credits to sell them to other automakers. And as long as gas is $2 a gallon, nobody will shop based on fuel efficiency. Uh, I'm I mean, it's fine. Everything is fine. Their point is that actually this will be a boon for automakers, particularly those selling full-size trucks and large three-rows SUVs. It just so happens that the most fuel-thirsty vehicles in their lineup are also their most profitable. This is certainly needed to help offset the costs due to tariffs. AlixPartner, though, warns that the near-term upside for this age of ICE could turn into a devastating ICE age where legacy automakers fail to use this opportunity to catch up on plug-in vehicle technologies. Investors at these publicly traded companies are not demanding for more research into electric vehicles for the US market. They're demanding for increased profit margins and to eliminate unprofitable vehicles. Not only do automakers selling in the US not have to worry about fuel economy regulations, they also don't have to worry about competition from China. Yeah, void of competition from the best Chinese EVs and with little to no regulatory incentives, the risk they point out is where US auto industry becomes complacent and falls further behind on electric vehicle technology. The age of ICE brings on a devastating new ICE age. Interesting stuff, maybe a little frightening and also depressing too. Beyond that, I hope you found this informative. If so, a like and subscribe is all I ask for, and thanks for watching.